Indian and on here. Gonna post a few good spoops I experienced living here in India. Buckle up, lads. I am typing as fast as I can. Be me, a little Indian guy around 7 years old at the time this happened. Fucking always being told about spoopy stories happening in the villages. One summer vacation I go to my village for the first time. Typical Indian stuff. Cows, farms, good food. And fucking skinwalkers, or whatever fancy names you want to call them. Lanky, weird, long arms, little to no hair on head, abduct kids, and sometimes adults too. I didn't know about them. I just played on a farmhouse all day. I wandered a little too far away. Keep in mind I was a fucking dumb kid. The village was typical on the edge of a forest. Elephants and other animals regularly fucked up crops. Used to watch Kaketsu Zoro and thought I'd find my own horse in the jungle. Not very far away from the farm, that Skinwalker motherfucker is just sitting there. I go up to him like a moron. He, or it, smiles. It has no teeth. Think he must just not brush his teeth daily, and I run away back to my home. I tell my parents. They laugh it off. My grandpa, though, he gets rustled. He grabs his rifle and gathers the other villagers towards the jungle. He later tells me how the ugly tall man would have abducted me and then made me a hobo beggar. Pretty sure what he wanted to say was that I narrowly escaped being assaulted and mutilated. Now that I recall, he was truly terrified of that creature, but apparently all the villagers just team up and shoo them away or something, and it happens a lot. Not really interesting, but that's my first experience with anything weird in India. Next one is quite amazing. My dad transferred to Rawat Bata, a small town with a hydroelectric plant. The town is awesome. It's in between mountains. The river flows right by our housing colony. We are in a colony because Dad is in the forces, and families are allotted a house in there with other serving people. It's like something straight out of a Kate in a Woods fantasy story. It's the Sentab colony in Rawat Bata if you want to look it up. Maybe it'll return something interesting. I am playing with kids, as always. The colony is divided into two parts. The old part, where people used to live but is now abandoned, and the new part, where we lived. The old part was pretty cool. Abandoned swimming pools, offices, houses. There is this huge peepal tree. God knows how old. Adventurous kids like me and my friends camped there, talking about our strategy to go deeper into the abandoned colony. Rumor has it, there's also an abandoned open-air feeder, but too many blood-sucking leeches, so we'll need to buy salt or something. One kid climbs the peepal tree, breaks a few of its branches, then proceeds to burn them and dance around it to show how he loves camping. In Hindu myths, peepal is a sacred tree, but ghosts and spirits hang around on them. This motherfucker had some balls. We all got home, but later on, I hear that kid got sick. I meet him. He acts like nothing is wrong, but he looks really pale, like he has jaundice or something. We go up to the roof, talking about the newest episode of 101 Dalmatians. Suddenly, the branches of the peepal tree start to break. The twigs start raining, like 7 to 8 of them fall out of nowhere. Don't pay much attention. He gets well, and now we play on the roof. The raining peepal twigs are now a common thing. Suddenly, a brick is hurled at that kid out of nowhere when we're out there one day. The trajectory makes it seem like it fell from the sky. It hits him on the shoulder. He starts crying. Shit like that kept happening for a whole month. He even had a picture filled with literal human feces fall out of the sky, with no buildings around for it to be thrown from. Be me, around 15 years old at the time of this next event. I am playing cricket with my pals. This one fielder kid, he is really scrawny and a manlet too. He was positioned near a tree. He had to take a piss mid-game apparently. He pees on the tree. 20 minutes later, he starts acting weird. He is now dropping catches, being an uncoordinated mess in general. It's his team's turn. They let him bat first because he's a shit player. He beat some poor kid's head in with the bat instead. None of us really liked him, so we take this as an opportunity to beat him up. He literally holds off all of us, suplexing everyone, kicking, screaming, unintelligible crap. He even punched the knee older fat guy who played with us. He finally calms down after a while, starts telling us about how he's some guy from a different city, and that he is pissed. No shit, dude, you fucking caved that kid's head in. The kid's parents are on the scene by now, watching from the sidelines. We get told to respect the trees, and now the kid will have to make a shrine or else. Suddenly, the possessed kid is back to normal, pisses himself, and starts crying. It later turns out he had 3 fractures and a broken nose. His family made a shrine at the bottom of the tree that he pissed on. The kid who was beaten by a bat got stitches on his head and returned to the field in a week. Be me, 19 years old at the time of this next event. I am in a car, going to our secret place to smoke kush that we got from the yogi. This secret place is just by the national highway outside the town, and a huge but desolate temple within 400 meters. There is no place in India where you cannot find a temple. Park the car by the road, walk the rest of the distance. We start smoking. It's 3 friends and me. Friend 2 smokes most of it, and the rest of the 3 of us share a joint that we rolled on the way. Friend 2 feels weird, says he got a little too high. He says he's gonna walk it off. We continue passing around the blunt. A few minutes later, friend 2 comes running, pale as a sheet. He says we need to book it to the temple ASAP. Why though? He says he saw Chudel, basically an Indian term for a succubus, witch, zombie, ghost woman in general. We laugh at him and tell him it's the weed. We walk back to the car after half an hour or so. Friend 2 has calmed down now mostly. Friend 1 gets in the driver's seat. Friend 2 is riding shotgun. Me and friend 3 are about to get in when we see her. It's a woman, just like how he described, wearing a white sari. The face is blurry it seems. Friend 3 is also looking at her, just like me. I still can't make out her face. It's fucking weird. I genuinely have no idea what is going on with the face or why it's doing that. What the fuck? Why can I not see her face? Friend 3 tells me to look at her feet. Fucking foot lover freak. I look down. Her feet are literally backwards. We nope the fuck out. I get in the car, pushing friend 3 aside. He gets in from the other door. Friend 1 steps on it. The car will not start. The woman starts moving towards us. Her sari is changing colors. I am pretty sure it's because it's a fucking old piece of shit that the car won't start. There is still no face on this woman. It's now a black void instead of her pixelated face. The car starts finally. We hightail it straight to the city. She very slowly starts to look like one of those hag ravens from Skyrim. She is still dragging herself towards us. We sleep in the car that night. Not together, obviously. We talked about it the next day. They all remember it exactly the same, so I am sure it was not the weed. Be me, at my uncle's house at the time this happened. It's like a whole family meetup thing. My uncle tells us about this huge temple called Mehendipur Balaji Temple. Really far, but it's a place worth seeing. Fine by me. I get to play with my cousins anyways. We all go there by car. Seems like a normal temple to me. Kinda boring. We walk in. It wasn't a temple. It was a fucking mental asylum. There are people chained to the walls. Some are free, walking around the temple. They have clearly lost it. They are hitting themselves, scratching themselves, screaming, all at once. Not hitting others, just themselves. Normal people like us just walking by them. Some of the lunatics do not even seem sentient, just like zombies. Some of them are covered head to toe with their own blood. Some have this ritualistic paint on them. Keep in mind, I was fucking 9 years old at this time, I think. Who the fuck takes a 9-year-old to such a place? I am really shitting my pants. Turns out they were just normal people, temple visitors just like us. But in the temple, some people have their inner demons awaken or something to be cleansed by the priest of the temple. It could be anyone, essentially. Anyone who walks in there can start to turn. We 360 and walk away out of there with my cousins. Later, my parents tell us that all of the demon-possessed people all go silent when the Arte prayer starts, as if they are listening to it. As soon as the Arte is over, they all go back to screaming and biting and hitting themselves. Priests keep them there until their soul is cleansed, after which they become perfectly normal and go back to their lives. That freaked the shit out of me. Something about all that madness and chaos was really scary, especially in a temple which is essentially where God lives. If God has madmen in his house, I doubt he can save my ass from anyone. Fucking scarring experience nonetheless. Be me, 20 years old at the time this happened. Last year. Go on a camping trip with friend. Just the two of us. Backpacking in the mountains of Rajasthan, and then probably in Rishikesh. In Rajasthan, nothing much happens except for some sand dunes, some abandoned keeps where we camp, and a few coyotes here and there. We meet another backpacker cuck, just like us. He is alone. He is fat, bearded, and really dark in skin tone. At first I thought he was from Bangladesh or from somewhere in Southern Asia, but he insists that he is not from those places. As we walk around, he starts going on this weird rant about his glorious Aryan ancestors. Please stop with the bullshit. I laugh internally at this and then go to sleep. I wake up. Fat guy is gone. Didn't even steal anything. Anyways, go to Uttarakhand, another state, next, towards Rishikesh. Hear about this place called Rupkund Lake. We decide that we might as well go and see it. It's the evening. There is mountains and more mountains. We finally reach it. It looks like a place straight out of myths. It's a single lake, surrounded by huge mountains. It's a little dark at this point. The water of course seems to be black in color, as it does in the dark. No one is there, except for one guy. Holy shit, it's the bearded fat fuck we met back in Rajasthan. Feeling a little weird. How much of a coincidence can it be? Pretty sure he followed us to a different state or something. I go up to him, talk to him about normal stuff, how he got there. He says he's actually from Uttarakhand and comes here to camp frequently. Oh, okay. Tells us he's going to go and look at the lake. We go, thinking he's gonna push us in or something. There are skeletons in the lake. Wait, what? There is like 20 to 30 skeletons visible near the end of the lake. Prepared to die. I can't even turn around. My friend tells me that the fat guy disappeared again, without a trace. We freak out and get out of there. We book a hotel room because we are too spooked to dare to camp. The next morning, we go to the lake again. 4 to 5 more people are there in the morning. The skeletons are still there. Apparently, people died at the lake a long time ago. I swear, the skeletons looked fresh just the day before. Be me, 16 years old at the time this one happened. Hanging out with that friend. You know, a little weird, chubby, bad with girls, cringy friend. But we play Vidya together, and he is still my best bro. He was born in a village called Kijroli in Rajasthan. It's a weird village, but that's a story for another time. We are chilling. A Muslim friend of his sees us and says hi. We start talking. He mentions that his house is being renovated and some shit. He says that apparently, jinns hang out in new houses or something. My friend is now interested. Tells Muslim that he wants to see the jinn. Muslim guy says the jinn is now under contract, aka someone is controlling it. On the way to his house, he tells us how a jinn is controlled. One must do a ritual in order to enter into contract with the jinn. Once the jinn is your slave, you can ask it of anything, and it will make it happen or something. The catch is, the ritual is ultra complicated. It involves ingredients not easily obtainable, and if failed, it kills the guy doing the ritual. Also, the success rate of the ritual is like 10% or something, due to it being so complicated. So, some Muslim guy now owns a jinn. Fuck me. Finally, we arrive. The jinn owner is sitting outside the house being renovated. He is the Muslim guy's cousin or something. He told us he doesn't have a job and just does black magic every day. Or that's what he said anyway. We go inside the house. There is the room where renovation construction is stopped because the workers were too scared. I peek inside. Nothing. I am shitting my pants, but the jinn owner insists it's harmless as long as we do not address it. My friend is also excited to see a jinn. Pretty sure it isn't like the genie from Aladdin. Go inside. There it is, sitting in the corner. Looks like it's doing that Muslim prayer thing, bowing down on knees on the ground, not moving at all. It turns around. No expression at all, not even surprised seeing us. Looks like an extremely old man. I'm talking at least 150 years old. I'm talking wrinkles, hanging skin, wearing some sort of cloth on his head, and a poncho-like thing on his body. The Djinn asked the owner about us. It has this extremely raspy voice. Pretty sure it's impossible for a human male to produce that voice. I am now officially crying for help inside. I am getting that sinking fear feeling, shallow breathing and all. The owner says nothing. I fight the urge to 360 and moonwalk away. It wasn't the Djinn, but it's fucking aura or something. Friend says he is not scared, because he's seen more weird shit in his village, casually. He laughs at me for being a wimp. Djinns aren't scary. The concept of Djinn is. The process that he mentioned was quite scary in itself. To complete is a completely different matter. Oh, and I should mention, there are lots of black magicians for hire in India. Really. Most of them are exploiting simple-minded old fools, but I am convinced that some of them are the real deal. Their hexes are quite a nuisance, and I've seen a whole family destroyed due to such a hex. Kinda makes you wonder. Be me, living in a small town with my mom at the time. Dad has now moved away to another city due to work. It's a small little town. Everyone knows everyone, that kind of thing. There is also this family. The head of the family is a BJP. It's a political party, MLA or some politician of sorts. Acquainted with our family since the old days. They are rich and nice people. Not even that corrupt. They tell Mom and Dad when he comes home about weird happenings in their house. Someone put 4 to 5 kilograms of cow innards in their lawn. Their dog dug up a dead rabbit with knife slashes all over it. Someone threw an eyeball wrapped in a paper inside their house. The politician head of the family does not care. He asks a priest to do some prayers for good luck and crap. Suddenly, the politician head of the family dies. Unnatural causes. Internal bleeding despite no physical trauma. Multiple hemorrhages. He had 2 sons, both married. His widow wanders off later that month. She is found naked near the railway tracks with no memory of how she got there. 2 months later, both sons die in an accident. Their motorcycle was behind a truck with marble slab on it. It fell out and crushed them both. Half a year later, the son's widows committed suicide by walking in front of a train. Both of them. The younger one was only recently married to him too. The man's widow goes insane and put into mental hospital. It was surreal. Just a year ago, they were fine and suddenly, all gone. Hey Anon, I have a question. How common is it for dead bodies to end up in bodies of water in India? Is the Ganges as polluted with dead bodies as some people lead me to believe? I have never seen it. While it is true that Hindus do have to return their dead ones' remains, ashes after cremation, to the Ganges, I'm quite sure it's illegal to dump dead bodies into the river. That being said, the Ganges is still filthy, mostly from years of people dumping waste and not having proper sanitation. Our government has launched a heavily funded project for cleaning it, and the bank is quite clean and beautiful now, but the water would take a long time before it all unfucks itself. Photos do not lie, and I wouldn't be surprised if some poor guy drowned in the filth that these people created. Forgot to mention, there were rumors that this was all a plan of the opposing political party Congress member who cast a curse on the family or something like that. It kinda made sense to me that they would kind of want them out of the way, and then all of those deaths all at once at the same time. Here is the witch story as one and on asked for. I don't remember it exactly, but here's how it went. Be me, living in that military colony that I mentioned earlier. I come home after playing at the park. It's starting to get dark. Mom is outside the house, doing something with our gate. These were apartments, or quarters as we called it, so just a gate to each house. The neighboring auntie is also standing by her, telling her something. Mom's palm is covered with mehendi, henna, and she is making palm imprints with henna on both sides of our door. Why though? Mom tells me to go inside. It later turned out that there was a witch on the loose who went to unprotected houses without the henna palm thing, and would ask the woman of the house for a roti, chapati, or bread, and some raw onion to eat. This was a sign that the kids of that house will be abducted by her later that day. She could not go up to the houses with the henna palm print thing. That's how I remember it. My memory of that time is a bit fuzzy, so it is not as detailed. Funny thing is, all houses had that henna palm print, and I bet if I go there today, many of them would still have it. Here's the story of when I went to my weird friends from the Djinn story village, but before that, a primer on regional deities. In Hinduism, there is said to be regional deities, unique to each state, village, and district. Baba Ramdev is one such deity that people worship in Rajasthan, India. A little known fact is that Baba Ramdev is always accompanied by his apprentice, Nag Baba or Nagdev, literally meaning snake deity. It's said that these local deities sometimes possess people for deity shit, I suppose. Anyways, I plan a trip to the village. I am kinda excited because the village food is god tier. They make their own spices, none of that processed crap. The atmosphere is quite good too. I reached the village by bus. I had to walk a little. It's a quaint little village with a huge temple in the middle. Fuck around all day. The village kids are amazed at the tales of the city. In the evening, there is a collective prayer thing at the temple. We go. Pretty standard stuff. Priest chanting, people reciting mantras and all that. Suddenly, some guy falls down. Then he stands up fine. Then he walks to the inner part of the temple, the sanctum I guess. It's where the silver brass idols of deities are kept. Their weapons, like a sword, a trident, and spear etc. are kept there, and some other symbolic crap. The spear is a little special. It is said to be wielded by Baba Ramdev himself. It weighs 63 kilograms. This guy walks up to it and lifts it with one arm with ease. He twirls it around like a fucking stick and then sits down. People walk up to him and start asking questions. He won't answer any of them. He starts asking where his apprentice is. As if on cue, another guy is possessed by the snake deity and starts writhing on the ground, literally crawling on the temple's floor like a snake. His tongue is moving like a snake's. He sits beside the guy possessed by Ramdev. Then they talk to people. From what it seems, their voices are a little deeper than their normal human beings. I am of course watching from a distance, because I just saw a man wriggle and move like a snake. They seem too rude for deities, shouting and talking down. Some woman asks about her son's future, as he is not very bright. Her dress touches the guy possessed. This makes Baba Ramdev guy really fucking mad for some reason. He starts shouting and saying he's leaving. The guy passes out. He wakes up with tears streaming. He says he is scared and cries like a kid. Everyone looks at the woman with the "God damn it, you fucking idiot" eyes. Later, the priest asked us to take the spear back to the sanctum, and sure enough, it was fucking heavy for me and my friend, even with both of us using both of our hands. When I was much younger, we moved to a unit in an apartment complex that my dad had bought. Nothing much, but it was a cold apartment. We lived in southern India at the time, and well, we wrote it off as the balcony facing south, and the corner unit acting as a draft for the northward monsoon winds, but we could not write everything off. It was crazy. I had a series of sleep paralysis episodes. My brother had severe asthma. My parents were always fighting, with both of them being violent, and we had my aunt and uncle visit more than once to peacekeep. I always saw a thin shadow guy out of the corner of my vision, and my parents lost all of their money, and we were nearly homeless. The craziest thing that made me doubt anything was natural was that we once had this maid lady who came to clean that house that kept insisting to my mom that something was not proper at this house, that something was a myth, etc. She said that she was a seer or a medium of some sort, and that she would do a small prayer. This involves lighting a camphor on top of a lemon, and basically holding it, and drawing 3 circles around us when she says her prayers. She did it for each of the family members without incident. I was the last to go. She lit the camphor, placed it on the lemon, and started. When she started her second circle, the camphor rolled off the lemon. No big deal, she will get it back on. Except when she went to pick it up, the camphor, which was still burning, rolled away from her, so she went to pick it up once it completely stopped rolling and it was still. She held the lemon on one side and her hand around the camphor to scoop it up onto the lemon, but it rolled away, dodging her hand in a zigzag pattern. By now, all of us were freaked. Another 2 or 3 more times, she was finally able to scoop it up. She continued her prayer, and before completing her 3rd circle, she fainted and the camphor stopped burning. I caught her, and we got her some water and some soda. We gave her a glass of coffee too once she was up. She refused to look me in the eye and refused to return to the house. We ran into significant financial and health troubles after this. We could not get another buyer, and also came to know that the guy who sold it to us attempted suicide soon after moving out due to financial trouble. He recovered. We moved away from the unit to another unit in the same apartment after a year, and despite selling it at a loss, we could not recover financially and even health-wise for over 5 years afterward. I later met the gifted woman on the street when I was an adult. She approached me and told me that she was glad that I was okay. She seemed genuinely surprised to see me and look me in the eye, so all is well, I guess. This happened in Assam in India. This takes place around 2018. I am doing a government job and at the time was posted in a rural area near Bhutan border. So, office times relax and I usually headed back home around 2ish. Since villages usually have flaky electricity supply and I was heavy into gaming at that time, I decided to rent at the nearby town and will commute to the office on my motorcycle around 45 kilometers. The road was pitched and well maintained, but there were no houses around and there were sparse forest areas for the entirety of the around 20 kilometers until the road merges with the national highway. So, coming to that eventful afternoon, I was riding back home at around 3 p.m. and had covered around half the way. The roads were usually vacant, with a rare car overtaking you or a man with his cattle. So, your peripheral vision tends to be very active, and if you spot someone or something, you look. Here I see this lady, in tribal garb, walking on my side of the road. Around 40-ish, I would assume. When I overtake, I look in my rearview mirror to see her face. Surprise, surprise, there is nobody there. I stop my bike. Big mistake. But in my mind, this was a spooky adventure, and in broad daylight, mind you, so rather than getting afraid, I decided to investigate. The area was mostly bamboo trees with no houses on either side, so it was not possible for her to get off the road and be somewhere. So, after a few seconds of looking, I take a leak and head back home. The rest of the evening is spent playing games and eating dinner. Nothing unusual. I go to bed around 1 p.m. At around 3 p.m., I suddenly wake up with an intense feeling of dread. I open my eyes but cannot move my body. Sleep paralysis, I think. I have had similar attacks quite a few times before, so I know how to deal with it. I do not try to move my body. I just close my eyes and wait for it to end. Suddenly, I find myself being embraced from behind by cold hands. I can feel the coldness radiate through my body. Now I feel nervous. I have never seen apparitions or felt any presence in my previous sleep paralysis bouts. I nervously squeak, "Who is there?" After a few seconds, I hear a female voice, not harsh, but sweet and melodious. "You don't know me. What will you do with my name?" I am seriously a mess at this point. I croak out a, "Please leave me alone." She says, "I am not leaving you. I will be with you forever." I manage a why, and the answer is, "Because you were looking for me." I don't know when I finally slept. The next day, I came down with a high fever and decided to skip office. That day I was a wreck of nerves. I was afraid to sleep alone. I was alone in a new town, and my parents were in a different end of the state, so asking them to come down was not a feasible question. That night, same situation. I feel the embrace again. But this time, I pretend like I do not feel anything. I lay still and feverishly pray. I hear the voice. "Do you not like me?" I do not reply. The voice repeats. "Do you not like me? My husband did not want me, so he killed me. Go to X village and ask." Said village is a small habitation, around 15 to 20 homes, and a tea/grocery shop nearly 3 kilometers from the place I first mentioned. I will never leave you now. I do not know when I went to sleep. Next morning, I get ready to go to office. Today, I need to get to the bottom of this mystery. I reach office and confide in my attendant. Let's call him Ram. He was a local of the place. So, Ram and I head off to this place on my bike. We head for the tea shop and strike up a conversation with the owner. He's a chatty fella. He tells Ram in their local language that the wife of a woodcutter who stayed there was found mysteriously dead by hanging a few days back. Local authorities declared it a suicide, but the info was that the couple were constantly fighting, and overall, it was an unhappy marriage. The reason was apparently because the lady did not conceive after 5 years of marriage. The husband was obviously grieving and stuff, but tongues were wagging about how he had done off with his wife. I now knew what I needed to know. Ram takes me to a local tantric who asked me to narrate everything in detail. I spill all the beans. He says I was a fool to stop there, and that God must have been with me for me to not be dead in these 2 days. According to him, people who get their lives snuffed out are usually malevolent after their deaths. They do not know right from wrong, and vent out their anger on any poor soul who happens to cross their path, and silly me had to pee there of all places. He performs a puja for me, a prayer, and gives me the ashes. He said spread these on your entrance and near your bed, and do not clean them off for 7 days. He takes only $20 from me as payment. I do what I am told, and that was the last time I was bothered by this entity. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the stories. The goal for the channel is 100k, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment, because it really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.